Let's take a closer look at how you can create content with Brisk. And one of the great things about Brisk is that it integrates seamlessly with the tools that you already use, such as Google Docs, Google Slides. Perhaps you're on a YouTube video or a website. You'll find that Brisk sort of comes to you, and you'll always see the icon down on the bottom right-hand corner on any page that it can be used. So if we want to take our sample ELA lesson plan, which is all about AI ethics and persuasive writing, and we want to create something using Brisk, we can go right down to the Brisk icon. And what I'm going to do is look at the objectives first, and I'm going to copy these objectives. Let's say we want to create some slides with some content regarding these objectives. We're going to go to the Brisk icon, and we're going to use the Create button. That will allow us to choose what we'd like to create. And if we scroll down, we will find that there is a presentation option, which will create this into Google Slides for us. So I'm going to click Presentation. And the first thing it says is describe the topic of your presentation. I'll just say, please create slides related to these objectives. And I'll paste in the objectives. Now we have to look along the bottom, and we want to make sure that our grade level is correct. So choose your appropriate grade level. You can choose how many slides you like. It does go up to 20. So I'll just leave it on 10 for now. And then you can choose with or without images. So that's always a nice option. The other thing you can do is you can align this to your specific standards. So if you click on the standards icon, you'll find that you can choose your state. So let's go ahead and find New York. You can choose your subject area. And again, you can continue narrowing it down until you find the specific standards and strand that you'd like. Once you have those standards, you can select them and it will align to those standards as well. So you can choose your standards. And in addition, you can also the prompt history will save. So if you want to run this again, it'll be saved under this button, which is a really nice feature. So I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And it does give you some basic presentation style choices. Not too many options, but we do get a couple. You can always change it later on. So we'll go with Aqua, and I'm going to click on the Brisket button. So it might just take a moment or two, but it'll slowly start to create your slides, and it'll put the content for each of those objectives together on the slides. One of the things I also really like is if you notice down here on the bottom, it does put the link to the original document that this came from, which would be that lesson plan that we started from. And you can see it's starting to generate the slides already. So it's nice that it gives you a really great starting point. The bullet points are generally, very good in terms of the content that we asked for. If we found that they weren't aligned with what we were looking for, of course, we could just go back and revise that prompt. Obviously, the more specific that we are, the better and the more closely aligned the slides will be. Once you're finished and it's finished generating, it will give you some options if you wanted to do more. So let's say you kind of looked through it and you said, you know what, I'd like a couple more slides. You can click on that button. It'll create a few more for you. Or if you want to go ahead and do something additionally, such as translating the slides into a different language or creating a quiz now based on the slides, you can go ahead and do those things. So you can definitely go further with it. Typically, at this point, I'll go back and look at the slides and maybe do my own editing and tweaking and just seeing if this is exactly what I'm looking for. So again, just a real quick way to get a nice slide deck based on just those couple of objectives that we started with.